Okay, interesting stream today because I really hope I'm allowed to do this. I will be saying every single username and give credit to the actual like storytellers of the stories that I will be reading, but we are going to be on r/ask Reddit today. And yeah. Hold on, I gotta send this out real quick. Okay, do that. Boop. Go here. Promote. Okay, hold on. Twitch.tv/parasite is me. Okay. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. It means a lot. If Minecraft wants to get open, we'll finally get this going. Okay, let's do this one first. Oh, I have to sign in real quick. Dang it. Hold on. Okay, never mind, we're good. Okay. Let's see, I'll have to change this up a little bit today, because I have to have both of these up and going. Hello, Extra Vibe. Hello. Thank you for the follow again. Okay. Sorry, it's taken me a minute here. Transform, fit the screen. Okay, that's gonna be odd today, but you know what? It's what's needed. Okay. Let's see. What's a fact that you know that feels illegal to know? Okay, a part of Canada is further south than a part of California. Hold on. Oh. Okay. I'm just not reading these for the first time too. Okay. You can use blood as a substitute to eggs. Okay. Then let's see. You can buy mushroom spores off the internet legally and grow them illegally. I don't think I don't know about that one. Okay. Okay, I'll be giving my input on these too. Okay. What question have you always wanted to ask LGBTQ plus people but didn't want to because you didn't want to offend them? Part of the community. Wait. Okay, let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, here we go. Okay. No, I might just read these, honestly. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna read these. Okay, I'm just gonna... So let's change this. Just... Okay, we're just gonna do that. Because it's like, it's so difficult for me to do both at once. Okay, let's see. Window capture, boop. Boop. That needs to go down here. Properties. Okay. Here we are. Oh, that's way too big. Fit the screen. Okay. Let me know if I need to zoom in at all. Here, hold on, I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. Okay. Am I the bad guy for going off my husband and his mom for taking / keeping my used pregnancy test? This is posted by throwaway 12286 547. Okay. I, female 27, found out I was pregnant very recently. My husband, male 34, and his family are beyond happy and excited. From what I heard, my husband was married 2 times before but couldn't have kids for 10 years. This is obviously a huge deal for his family because his mom will be a first-time grandma with his baby. They threw a celebration dinner for us, and as his mom and I were talking about the baby, she told me about how she already started making memories, started having keepsakes of her grandbaby. I felt a bit confused and asked if my husband bought something for the baby and gave it to her. She said no, but he did bring her my used pregnancy test and gave it to her to store as a memory of the news of her grandbaby's existence. I was floored. I looked at my husband like, "Did you really do that?" And he nodded while smiling. Not gonna lie, I felt creeped out, disgusted, and very uncomfortable. After the initial shock, I just went off on both of them, calling what they did creepy and disgusting and highly violating. My husband argued that it was not a huge deal. He just grabbed the test once I got rid of it, put it in a plastic bag, and gifted it to his mom as keepsake. I told him it made me feel violated and creeped out because that test had my literal pee on it. His mom then said something about taking care of the smell, and I lashed out even more and demanded they get rid of it, but they kept arguing, calling me controlling. Brother-in-law asked me to calm down, but I decided to just grab stuff and go home. My husband started arguing about how this is all an overreaction and said I ruined his and his family's joy by how I behaved after finding out about the pregnancy test. He said for him and his mom, it's all about the baby, but somehow made this whole thing about me and hurt their feelings in the process. But that was my literal pee on that test, and I just couldn't help but flip out, even if it ruined their joy for the news. Did I overreact? That's a good... I don't think... I personally don't think that they flipped out or like were overreacting, because I mean, you would think if someone uses a pregnancy test and they throw it away, like it's supposed to be thrown away. Like, you don't keep stuff like that. Like, you're gonna have a baby in the future, like just right by your side. Like, I don't think you need a pregnancy test that's going to be saved for who knows how many years. Like, imagine that baby's older and like going through their grandma's things and they just find their mom's used pregnancy test from however many like years, maybe even like decades ago. Like, I feel like that'd be so uncomfortable. I don't think they're the bad guy for that. Okay. Am I the bad guy for causing a walkout on a 3-year-old's birthday party? This is posted by Preschool Party Drama. Let me check something real quick. Okay, we're good. Ah, no, not that. Okay. Okay, this sounds bad, but hear me out. My 3-year-old was invited to her preschool classmate's birthday party at an indoor playground. We did arrive 10 late since we got lost trying to find the place, but we happened to arrive at the same time 2 other families, so it could have looked planned. The birthday boy's mom was clearly irritated because we missed a treasure hunt. There was no schedule given, so I didn't realize it would be that big of a deal if we were 10 minutes late, or I would have rushed more. We all made sure our kids wished the happy birthday boy happy birthday and passed him his presents, but they immediately ran towards a train ride once they were done. Turns out the mom wanted to organize a group photo shoot with the kids, so she was annoyed they ran off. The kids then could do whatever they liked for maybe 10-15 minutes before we all had to follow the initiatory yeah, I don't know. We didn't realize we had. I gotta sneeze real quick. Okay. The kids had 2 group rides, which always came with a photo shoot before each ride. Then they were free to play for another 5 to 10 minutes before they had to go for another photo shoot with the cake. Then the parents had to take photos. Our country still had indoor mask mandates, but we were told it's illegal to have mask offs for photos and were ordered to take off our masks. Then we had the cake cutting and another round of photos before food was served. It hasn't even been 2 hours and we had 4 photo taking sessions, taking up almost an hour. My daughter didn't want to eat and I could see she was losing it, especially since was a spread of beautifully decorated desserts that weren't offered to anyone at all, so I wouldn't let her touch them. I figured I should just leave before I ruined the party since we already had 2 meltdowns in the last 10 minutes, but my daughter leaving triggered her 2 friends asking to leave, which triggered even more kids demanding to leave. The party ended up getting cut short by 30 minutes. The mom is obviously pissed with me, and I agree I did ruin the party, and if my daughter leaves, there's a chance I'd trigger that snowball effect. And yes, I believe it's important not to expect society to cater to my child's whims, and it's my job as a parent to make sure she behaves, but I think she had been doing an amazing job not running off and doing her own thing. I found the entire party stressful and not fun at all, so I figured my kid probably feels the same. So am I one of those entitled moms here? Edits, clarifying some things. The mom isn't an influencer, she has Instagram, but it's private. My daughter didn't have a meltdown yet, it was 2 other kids. I didn't want her to be a third, so I left. We did try to leave quietly, but my daughter's closest friends saw us and started yelling. I kind of expected it since the girls are in this inseparable phase where they have to do everything together. I mean, it's not like she knew that like all the kids would see them leave and like that kind of trickle effect. Like it's not like she knew that was gonna happen. And if that mom is like so angry over kids being kids, then I don't think that party should have happened in the first place. I mean, unless they're doing something really bad, like I say let the kids have their freedom. I mean, it's a little kid's birthday party. So, I do not think she is the bad guy. Okay, this one's gonna be interesting. Am I the bad guy for going out after my boyfriend told me not to? This post by vodka_cran berry with a 3 for the E. Okay. I, 28 female, started dating a male 40, oh my god. I, 28 female, started dating a 40 male 6 months ago. We met online. He is divorced with a son. I'm a doctoral student. I need to learn how to read again. We connected instantly as we have so much in common and can talk and laugh for hours. He treats me so well, tells me I am beautiful daily, supports me in my work and hobbies, never goes out too late or gets too drunk, is always there if I need him, etc. In return, I support him in his work and projects, always make time for him in our dates, always am up for anything he wants to do date-wise and in bed, and constantly tell him how much I appreciate him. However, he told me from the beginning that he has boundaries that I need to accept if I want to date him. He doesn't want a girl who goes out late with her single friends because it signals to the other men that she's available, or a girl who has a lot of guy friends. He also doesn't like me wearing low-cut tops or short skirts that attract attention. I told him I thought that was pretty unreasonable to ask a girl he'd only been on a few dates with to suddenly change her social habits, friendship circles, and wardrobe. But as I fell more in love with him, I decided to accept his boundaries. I stopped going out, cut off contact with my guy friends, and started wearing more modest clothes. But I've had a trip to see my best friend in Australia planned since before he and I started dating. It has been 4 years since I've seen her because of COVID, and I have been so excited to go back. He was also happy for me to go, and we said our first I love yous right after the trip. On my third day here, I ended up going out till 3 a.m. with one of my other Aussie girlfriends who I hadn't seen in ages either. We got pretty drunk, but I didn't flirt with anyone or do anything disloyal. I was just having so much fun catching up with the friends that I got carried away. The next day, I called him as soon as I woke up, but I was still a little drunk and he could tell. I admitted to going out the night before. He went off on me for betraying his trust and doing something we had agreed I would not do. He called me selfish and immature and not ready to date a man with boundaries, and then broke up with me on the spot. My friends all think his reaction was crazy and his rules were also crazy and I am better off without him. But my dad agrees I shouldn't have gone out after agreeing not to. I'm so heartbroken over the sudden breakup, but I know my actions caused it. I just feel like I have been such a good partner to him otherwise, and his reaction was extreme. I'm still in Australia for a few more days, but I can't focus on anything anymore because I'm so sad. Am I the bad guy? That was a lot to unpack. I mean, I think both are at fault, really, because, I mean, at the same time, I understand, like, you're allowed to have friends, and I mean, that's a huge thing in a relationship. Like, if that trust is not there, then you probably shouldn't be in that relationship. Like, me with my significant other, yeah, there are some friends who I may not like, and there's probably friends of mine that they don't like, but that doesn't mean that, like, we're just, like, no, you can't hang out with them. No, you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. Like, oh, you can't have any sort of human contact with anyone else. Like, you're allowed to have friends, especially of the opposite gender. Because, I mean, even before, it doesn't mean that you guys are going to do something more. Like, you're allowed to just be friends if, like, there really is that click there. And you share a lot of the same interests, you know, stuff like that. And I think as long as she didn't do anything disloyal and she just broke that boundary, like, once, like, if it's not a continuous, like, repeating thing, then I don't think it's I think he went out of line then. Like, yeah, she did agree to not go out, like, past, what was it, like, 3 a.m.? Like, if you want to catch up with friends and stuff like that, then yeah. But at the same time, we still have to be respectful of those boundaries, so I do think both are at fault there. But his reaction was kind of out of line. Like, if you can't work through an issue like that, I don't think that relationship had potential. I mean, yeah, you could be mad at each other. Like, not saying couples can't be mad at each other. But if you can't work through that, then I don't think that relationship should have been a thing in the first place. Once again, this is the person that put this story here. Oh, okay. Whew. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Am I the bad guy for ruining my sister's birthday and proposal, causing her to have a meltdown? That title is gonna be hard to recover from. I, 18 female, planned my sister's 21st birthday party, which was conducted yesterday. It was a huge party with many of our family friends, acquaintances, old classmates, etc. There were about 65 people. My sister gave me a budget for it and a list of things she wanted at her party, including flowers, food, lanterns, doves to be released in the sky, etc. I did the best I could, but because the party was planned last minute, when I called the florist, she only had lilies in large stock. I said that was okay. I double checked with my sister if she was fine with my arrangements because she's a bit of a micromanager. She said it was fine. The first quarter of the party was good. My sister's boyfriend was late, so she was a bit worried about him. He soon arrived about 15 minutes before the cake cutting, calls me out of the hall, tells me he plans on proposing. I was really excited and set up a dramatic entry onto the stage where she was going to cut the cake. Cake cutting begins. My sister is calm now that she's seen her boyfriend. He gets down on one knee after she slices the cakes and pops the question. She excitedly says yes, but then starts sneezing and itching really badly, and he's broken out into hives. My sister is visibly upset that her birthday/proposal is ruined. Turns out she has an extremely bad allergy to lilies. My sister and him go to the hospital because they're not sure if it'll get worse. After all of that died down, at night, my sister messages me asking why I hadn't used another type of flower, stating that her boyfriend had apparently informed me of his pollen allergy, along with soy and wheat, in response to my food and other allergies query. Unfortunately, he sent me an email when I specifically asked him to send me a message instead. I don't remember my email password. I hadn't even been sent this query on email. My sister then asked me why I didn't contact him if I didn't see his message, because she reminded me that he had allergies. I admit that slipped my mind because I was planning on other details of the party. Edit. My sister is not a huge fan of the first date flowers or bouquets. Because of this, her fiance never got her flowers, so she didn't know about his allergy. She told me about his soy and wheat allergies, which were the only ones he told her about. He had mentioned that he had a few more: pollen, shellfish, dairy, etc. This man has a lot of allergies, and told her that he would send in that allergy response sheet. Thankfully, pollen was the only one he was extremely allergic to, and he didn't get the chance to eat anything, so he didn't have multiple allergy reactions because I didn't see the dairy and shellfish one. Whew. Edit 2. I'm seeing a lot of questions about... Oh my goodness. Okay, this is just a lot. It was posted by Common Poverty. That is a very interesting username. So, I mean, the sister did say that lilies were okay. So it couldn't quite have been on them. And that was on him to not send her a message instead of an email. And I don't know. I mean, at least they didn't die, so I don't quite think they're the bad guy. Oh, this one. This one's gonna be interesting. Am I the bad guy for not forcing my foster kid to go to church? Oh, not forcing. Oh, I read that at first as, am I the bad guy for not letting my foster kid go to church? Okay, anyways. No, I'm not in the US, so some things may be different. English is my first language. Throw away. My wife, 35 female, and I, 34 male, have decided to be foster parents after not being able to have children. Our current foster child, Hope, is 15 and Jewish. We're Christian. My wife is really committed to her faith and won't hesitate to push it on to others. That's already a red flag. The past week, my wife could... The past week, my wife would put up crosses in her room when Hope is elsewhere, and Hope would take them down, after I apologized for her behavior. Hope hates confrontation and is generally a quiet girl. I've spoken to my wife about privately, and she believes she is getting rid of the Jewishness. I don't like it, and I don't think it's right that she does this. When Sunday came, first Sunday that we've had her, my wife woke her up and demanded that she went to church with us. I heard this outside Hope's room, as our walls are not necessarily soundproof. Hope kept stammering, and I felt my wife was exploiting that. I stormed in and told my wife that she needs to respect Hope's religion and let it be. She looked shocked, as if she expected me to take her side. She stormed out of Hope's room, grabbed clothes, took one of our cards, and is currently staying at my mother-in-law's house. I told Hope she doesn't need to, and I would skip that day to be with her. My wife is furious at me, and my in-laws think I'm in the wrong. My parents died in a house fire 10 years ago. I'm not sure about it. Am I the bad guy? You are not the bad guy. Please keep on standing up for what is right. No. Oh my goodness. You are not the bad guy, dude. Oh, hold on. It was supposed to buy... No. Infamous Canary 9023. Posted by this dude. Good job. Just good job. General, awesome human being here. Oh, hold on. No, not that one. Okay. Okay, please tell me I'm reading this wrong. Am I the bad guy for giving away the dogs? Am I the bad guy for giving away the dog my girlfriend's sister got us for a baby shower gift? This better not be an actual dog. Please tell me you did not throw away an actual dog. You are going to have to. This better be a good excuse here. My girlfriend's sister, a 27 female, got us this puppy with like zero warning and without ever being told by either of us that we even want a dog. We were about to have a newborn baby in less than a month, and she thought it was a good idea to give us a dog, 3-month-old German Shepherd to be exact, to live with us in our tiny apartment. She said it would be cute for our son to grow up with a furry companion. We were too shocked, but we didn't say anything until after the baby shower. My girlfriend said thank you, but we can't keep a dog here. We won't have the time or money to be taking care of a dog on top of having a new baby in the house. Her sis didn't listen to us when I tried talking to her. She goes, all dads act like this. They pretend they don't want a dog and then they become best friends. Nothing we said seemed to change her mind. We were literally left with a puppy who had already pissed on the floor with no dog food either or anything. I called up one of my friends to ask if they might want it. He has 2 other dogs, plus his place is way bigger. At least enough for a German Shepherd. Her sister found out a few days later and lost her shit, calling us ungrateful for taking away what could have been a meaningful relationship to her son. She had to get her mom involved, so now it seems more like we are ungrateful assholes who gave away a living animal that was meant for us as a gift. To her, the least we could have done was warn her we are giving him away to someone else. It's just confusing because we told her to take him back and she said no, but now she says we could have told her before giving him up. It was already obvious we didn't want him. I don't know, it's pretty confusing, so I can see how we are assholes for what we did. Well, I mean, you told her that this was supposed to buy recently gave away. I mean, you told her that you can't support it, and she insists you take it, so. I don't think you're the bad guy. Ooh, okay. Am I the bad guy for not raising my sister's children the way she wants them to be raised? This is gonna be something. This is posted by SugarPlum909. My sister, 28, lost custody of all 3 of her children, 8 female, 6 male, and 2 female, because of her drug use and neglect. I, 26, had my sister's children for 2 years now, and in those 2 years, she changed her beliefs 10 times and expect me to teach her children about those beliefs each and every time. I had to stop at the 5th time, as I see it having a negative effect on her children, as it's very confusing for them to one day be a vegan Buddhist and the next meat-eating Christian. My sister, ever since, has been mad at me and refuses to see her children until I start teaching them her values and believes I'm taking away her rights as a parent. The thing is, it's extremely hard for me to keep up with all her switching, and if it's hard on me, I can't imagine how hard it is on her children. She recently changed again and has demanded I enlighten her children on her beliefs and force them to live by it. She told me that it's not her fault she found a better truth, and I replied to her, why isn't your better truth ever getting off drugs? She believes that I don't ever be supportive of her or encourage her that she's trying her best. I have 2 children, a 4-year-old boy and an infant girl who's 6 months, and I'm married. It's just a lot to keep up with each and every time. I have to study her new beliefs and then teach it to her children. I really wanted to give my sister some sense of parenting, as I felt it might help her get back to her senses, but I'm starting to believe she'll never do so. I was only supposed to have her children temporarily until she was able to go through rehab and take some parenting classes, but she doesn't seem to be putting in the work. My mom always enables her and always sides with her. I guess it's because she's the golden child. She had such a bright future and even was on her way to a great career. I just don't understand how things could change so fast. My mom thinks I use respect her belief and values. On grammar. My mom thinks I use respect her belief and values and teach it to her children each time it changes. Each time 2 changes, as she believes it will bring them closer to their mom. My mom said I'm removing what? My mom said I'm removing a chances for them to bond. Stay strong. I mean, if she can't even get off of drugs and take parenting classes, like, I don't think she should be a parent. And I therefore believe they are your kids then, because you're more of a parent to them than that sister is. Okay, this one's a small one. Am I the bad guy? Han. Posted by... Oh my god, I didn't mean to click on it. Posted by Let the Dogs In. My sister Nicole is a bright, sweet, and sociable girl. Wait, am I the bad guy for giving my daughter an indefinite grounding? My daughter Nicole is a bright, sweet, and sociable girl. Last night, a classmate of hers hosted this end of junior year, headed into senior year party. I felt as though I covered more than enough the dangers of drinking, smoking, and getting pregnant at her age. I'm 34, Nicole is 17. You do the math. I go to pick her up from this party, and she stumbles into my car smelling like a brewery. I asked her if she'd been drinking, and she said she never drank a top, but giggled like a drunk as she said it. I helped her upstairs into bed, put 4 baskets by her bed. This morning she woke up later than usual and with a headache. I yelled at her for lying to me, told her she was clearly wasted last night, obviously hungover today, and told her she was grounded until I thought of a real punishment. Grounded until I said otherwise. She told me that I'm the reason my ex left, and that her mom made the right decision leaving me. Whoa. Okay. that last part just got thrown in your face there. Okay, I don't think you're the bad guy. But at the same time, she was under the influence, and that does alter the brain enough to where it can make it a lot easier for someone to lie. And they see no issue with lying then. So I do think, yeah, she might need a punishment for that because you taught her not to do that. But she shouldn't have gone as far as to say that you're the reason their mom left. Like, whew, that's... oh, that's a lot. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay, let's see. Okay. Am I the bad guy for not being excited about my first grandchild? Okay, this is posted by No Thanks Throwaway 1. Whew. I've been getting a lot of mixed opinions from family and friends on this topic. Recently, I had a family get-together at my house. Me and my husband host these get-together once a month to catch up with family and our close friends over a shared meal. There's usually around 10 of us, and we are all very close. This past get-together, my son, L, brought his girlfriend, S, of a year with him. I never had any problems with my children bringing their partners to these get-together. I've never really liked S, but I try not to allow that affect my son's relationship with her, as it isn't my place. My husband also doesn't have the best views of S. We have our reasons for our dislike of her. S is often rude and casually says rude things about other family members. She doesn't clean up after herself and moves furniture in my home while she is here. I wouldn't mind that as much, but my son-in-law is blind, so this causes some problems. She makes remarks about my daughter's struggles with fertility, which has been causing my daughter a lot of emotional pain, along with just being an ass to my daughter in general. She also mistreats L, often yelling at him, belittling and gaslighting him. She scolds him like he is a child over things like him not doing enough chores at their apartment. She's unemployed and lives at his apartment while he works long hours. Overall, not a pleasant person. I've tried to explain to my son that the way she treats him is unacceptable and that they should honestly break up. A few weeks ago, S kicked my son out of his own apartment over an argument. He said he was through with her, and I thought that was the last of it. This past get-together with S was there with L. I didn't press or ask questions as it wasn't my business. After the main course, while everyone was relaxing and chatting at the dining table, S and L stood up saying they had news. S had recently found out she was pregnant. Everyone congratulated the two while my stomach sank. I could tell something was off with L as well. He had always wanted kids, but he didn't look excited. S began talking about how excited we must be to finally, after so long, be having our first grandbaby. My daughter looked upset, but still congratulated her. Me and my husband just stayed quiet. We quietly congratulated our son, who looked miserable, before bringing out dessert. Recently, I've been getting a lot of angry texts from S saying how disappointed she was in all of us for not being all over the moon about our first grandbaby, and how we didn't seem all too thrilled. She accused us of hating her and being racist toward the mother of our grandchild. I am not white. And how we would have no contact with her or L until we apologized. A couple of friends and family have said I should just have sucked it up, but I don't think I was in the wrong. I'm worried about Elle, who I haven't heard from since the get-together. You are not the bad guy. She is not a good person. You are not the bad guy, and I feel bad for that son. Like, it's probably not his baby. Like, honestly, it's probably not. Okay, let me see this. Oh, people are saying there. Okay. Am I the bad guy for calling the police on a family at the beach? My family went to the beach yesterday, and there was a large family or multiple families maybe 15 feet away from us. There was a baby girl with them who looked to be somewhere around 18 to 12 to 20 months old, and they had on... Okay, I'm just gonna restart that. Oh, I didn't read that one's dude username. I'm sorry, dude. I'll find it here in a minute. Toddler leash post. Okay. My family went to the beach yesterday, and there was a large family or multiple families maybe 15 feet away from us. There was a baby girl with them who looked to be somewhere around 18 to 20 months old, and they had her on a leash and tied the leash to their tent. There were dolls at the beach that treated better than that baby. She had toys and snacks, but that treatment is still inhumane. I started to talk to them and asked why the baby was on a leash. They said she likes to chase dogs, birds, and squirrels, so the leash made sure she stayed near them. I offered to watch her so she can go off her leash for a little bit, but they insisted that she was fine. The dad started to get angry, so I left, but I can't get over the fact that they tied the baby to a tent so they wouldn't have to watch her and made sure she doesn't run off, so I called the police on them for abusing the baby. But the police came, but they didn't do anything. They assumed it was me that called, and the dad yelled at me for ruining their vacation and putting them at risk. They're not white, so they assume any interaction with the police is automatically dangerous. My husband found out that I called the police, and he said I was overreacting and that I acted like a bitch by calling the police on them. You are the bad guy. Why would you do that? Like... There's legit... This is a Karen right now. This is a Karen right now. Like... Oh my god. Oh, why are you such a Karen? Like, they make baby leashes for a reason so you don't lose your child. Like, oh my god. Okay. Am I the bad guy for not accepting my boyfriend's strange sense of humor? Am I the bad guy? I got into an argument with my boyfriend about his behavior, and now somehow he's angry at me for not understanding his humor and for not allowing him to be his true self. He always orders all of his clothing and shoes online at different stores. He returns the stuff he doesn't like, but before returning the clothes, he places his complete man package onto it. The shoelaces and inside soles, buttons of shirts, and neck hole are all smear victims of his junk. He even wipes the sweat off his butt cheeks using the shirts. All because he thinks it's funny when other people try it on after returning the clothing to the store. He does this on a monthly basis. Roughly a few dozen shirts and pants a month. You are not the bad guy. What the heck? Why would he do that? That's just a violation of human decency, like. Okay. Let's see here. Posted by I haven't been saying the usernames. I'm so sorry. If you want to see them, like, just scroll up in the VOD, like. Okay. We're good. Vegetable Stash Fots 3228 posted this one. Am I the bad guy for embarrassing my dad in front of his friends after he humiliated my wife? I'm currently no contact with my mom. She told me that she hates my wife more than she loves me and doesn't see how we can continue our relationship. There was really no coming back from that with me, so we just don't talk. I've been trying to improve my relationship with my dad ever since cutting out my mom. We get along pretty well, but my dad tells my mom everything. I really don't understand why. They've been divorced for a while and they don't even get along while they were married, but now they gossip and shit and talk all the time. Recently, my wife and I spent some time with my dad. My wife just had a baby and is feeling very insecure. She had an irrational moment where she was crying to me about how my stepmom is a bitch for walking around in tiny bikinis right in front of her. Now, I get that my stepmom can wear whatever she wants, but the conversation was just for us, though my dad's wife ended up overhearing it and caused a bunch of drama. Well, my dad called my mom and told her everything. I only found this out because I'm still in contact with some of my mom's family, and she was laughing about it at a family event and mocking my wife. I was furious and went to confront my dad. He happened to be standing outside talking to some of his friends, but I didn't care. I went up to him and demanded to know why he gossips with his ex like a teenage girl. My dad got defensive and said he could talk to whoever he wants to. I said it's more than just that. I added a word in there, you know what I mean though. We are on a trip and he is literally calling her up. And he is literally calling her up to report back. My dad said just because they don't work as a couple doesn't mean she can't be his friend. And to be honest, they both like to shit talk and they were just trading stories. It had nothing to do with my wife or I. I said, fine, maybe he is a better man than me because I couldn't be friends with the woman who fucked my brother and one of my friends, and then I walked away. Whoa, okay. My dad stormed in the house to irate and said, how dare I humiliate him in his house when he was treating us to a vacation. He said I made it sound worse than it was on purpose, and yeah, she did that, but he had other women as well, and I just made him look like a cuckold. He is currently not talking to me, and his wife called us entitled trash. You're not the bad guy. I mean, people shouldn't be talking like that. Am I the bad guy for yelling at my boyfriend's family? Posted by I don't want to lose here. I, 16 female, have a boyfriend, 17 male, and yesterday I went over to his house. Now, I'm aware his family is really religious, like his parents threw a fucking fit when they found out he was dating a Jew. Just for some background, we live in Utah. His family is LDS and mine is fairly Jewish. He is I don't know what LDS. He's a really bright guy and is planning on leaving the church and his family when he turns 18. But in the meantime, he wants me to meet his parents because he's already met mine, blah blah blah. Now, I don't think I really have an out there style, but it's definitely not the norm for a small Mormon suburb. I dress punk and I look like a Jew. Well, I mean, you are Jewish. I'm confident in my looks, but I've gotten my fair share of shit. Knowing I was going to meet his devout family, I chose to dress down. I chose a plain dress that hits like halfway down my thighs. I thought it was okay, and so did my mom and dad. I even temporarily dyed the streaks of my hair back to black instead of blonde, blue, and pink. I took out my piercings and put away my Star David, like he said. When he picked me up, he said I looked fine probably, which didn't exactly boost my confidence. Anyway, we got to his house and I thought his mother was going to have a stroke. She didn't say anything specifically, but said some passive-aggressive things about my neckline. It was sad. It didn't... Okay. It was sad I wasn't following the rules of our Heavenly Father. That irked the shit out of me, but I bit my tongue until I met his father, who spoke only to my BF and only mentioned me as that Harlow. Harlow? I don't know. Now that actually pissed me off even more, so that my BF just went yes sir, no sir, like he was in the fucking army. Like he was in the fucking army. When his parents walked away, I quietly whispered, what the fuck? And he just said, look, I'm sorry, but that's just my family. Then his father came back and spoke to me directly for the first time. He said, I hope you understand that your kind of people aren't welcome in this household. I don't know what you've done to my good son, but you've corrupted him. His wife chimed in to make sure that I knew she was watching me, to make sure the Jip didn't run off with the good silver. My boyfriend just stayed silent. I exploded and went, seriously, my kind of people? What is this, 1957? Look, I'm not going to stand here and play nice while you call me goddamn slurs and call me a hair loot. I'm leaving. I don't know what that is. Harlot? Harlot? I don't know. I walked out the door. He followed me and said, I'm sorry, I know they were bad, but I told you to please tone it down. I said, I'm not going to stand there and take shit from your psycho cult leader family where you sit there like a fucking coward. Then I walked away to the corner where I called my dad to pick me up. It's been hours now and he hasn't called or texted, and I feel like shit. I shouldn't have exploded. Who knew if they took out their anger on him and his little siblings. I feel like utter shit and a total asshole. My parents said it wasn't my fault, that I was right to stand up for myself, but it's not clicking. Am I the bad guy? No, you're not. Honestly, like people should respect others' religion. I gotta let some out real quick. Okay, anyways, back to the stream. I don't think you're the bad guy. If anything, you're in the wrong there. You're just standing up for yourself. Okay. This is posted by Illustrosis Nature 705. I can't speak or read today. Am I the bad guy for being honest about my thoughts and feelings in therapy when I knew it would hurt another person? I know, people often say therapy is for this stuff and honesty is always the best policy, but I feel like this might be different. I don't know. I am the youngest of 5. I'm 17 female and my siblings are 19 male, 20 female, 22 female, and 24 male. When I was 5, our dad died. When I was 7, my mom remarried, but she had been living with my stepdad for a while. Stepdad tried to be a father to all 5 of us. He sat us down and told us he wanted to be there, wanted to help our mom, and was going to be the best father he could be to us. My oldest brother told me he was never going to be a father to him, and he should... Can I just, read one normally? My oldest brother told me he was never going to be a father to him, and he should quit while he was ahead. My other siblings all spoke up too, but not quite in the same way. I was more quiet. I felt bad for him then because I saw he'd struggle with what my siblings were saying. All the photos of our dad were removed from the common areas of the house after he and my mom married. My siblings and I all took them into our rooms. It led to some tension on both sides. We weren't happy to have all of them removed from the rest of the house. While we hated that each of our rooms had at least 2 photos of our dad in them, and if he looked in, he would have seen them. Oh my god. Just want to stream. He was very jealous of how we all loved and missed our dad and how closed off we were to the idea of him being another dad to us. I think, understandably, he struggled to cope with the fact that he wasn't valued as much as we valued our mom and dad. And I think he felt disposable. I think it added to his feelings. Over the years, he has been there and tried, but has always asked for more. Admittedly, I am the only one who tried to have a good relationship with him, and even then, I pulled back because the second I started agreeing to some bonding time with him, he asked about adopting me, or asked if I would like to take his last name too, and got upset when I gave my answer. None of my siblings maintain such much of a relationship with them. They are civil, but he feels left out in the cold. Mom realized things would not get better without help and asked for family therapy. I'm the only one going. We spent the first couple months addressing what my mom and stepdad see as problems. Each session is about 35 minutes and we address one topic at a time. She also gives us a chance to speak. At our session during the week, I was asked to address some stuff my mom and stepdad had mentioned. I decided to go with honesty. That I didn't consider my stepdad another dad to me. That I didn't love him but didn't hate him either and had a confusing mix of feelings toward him. But that I loved my mom enough to try, but I wasn't happy with him trying to be my dad. This broke his heart. I saw it happen. I kind of knew it would. For the first time ever, I saw him angry too. He placed a lot of hope that I would be the one who would be open to more with him. And hearing that from me pushed him over the edge. He said I should have just refused to go at all if all I was going to do was hurt him. You're not the bad guy. You're just speaking your mind. That's the point of therapy. There's no exceptions with therapy. You're supposed to say what you think, unless it's something horrible. I can't even give an example. Kind of horrible. Then I don't know about that. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Okay, let's do this one. Posted by Addie Rue. Okay. Am I the bad guy for leaving with my son in the middle of the night after my friend went behind my back to invite my ex over and saying he chose money over us? I have a son with my ex. He didn't want a child as he wanted to focus on building his business, and I wasn't prepared to have an abortion. We broke up and he wrongly assumed I had an abortion even though I tried contacting him once our son was born. I ended up moving back home to my dad's during my pregnancy because I had no other choice. Things were bad and getting worse. I didn't want to keep exposing my son to that type of environment, so I asked if my friend... I want to read one right. Like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna finish that one. Okay. I got this. Who? Posted by throw_all_1230. Who? Am I the bad guy for not giving a single mom a break and making her life harder? You are going to have to recover from that one. So my neighbor is a single mom that has a 7-year-old son, Jesse, from her previous marriage. Dang it! Okay. I don't know the details of her previous marriage and how her custody works, but Jesse's over every other weekend or so. I know this because almost every Saturday she has him, she asks me if I can babysit him for the day. Because I have children 7 to 10 years old, my husband and I usually take them out on weekends, and we take Jesse along as well. So he does have loads of fun, and he's never really upset. I'm sure he notices that his mom always leaves him with me, but he is always looking forward to our Saturday adventures. However, the last time I babysat him, we were at a park, and he wouldn't play and sat on the bench the whole time. I asked him what was up, and he told me that he wanted his mom. That's when I realized that he should be making these memories with his mother, not his mother's neighbor. Yesterday, his mom called me asking if we were all set for this Saturday, but I told her that I was sorry, but I wouldn't be able to take him this weekend. She just went with, "Oh, why?" I told her that I wanted to spend time with my family and that she should spend time with her son as well, and he'd definitely appreciate it. I then offered to give her money to see the Sonic movie as her son adores the character. She told me to forget it and hung up. Well, this morning she's at my door and she's noticeably annoyed. She said she needs to be somewhere today and that she knows my family isn't doing anything today because my husband told her. I tried to explain that Jesse wants to spend time with her, but she kept saying that she's got more important things to do. She doesn't have work, she's spending time with her friends and BF. I was very upset at this point, so I quickly placed enough money for the movie in her hand and said, "You're his fucking mother, act like it." She tried arguing some more, but left after calling me an asshole for making her life more difficult than it already is. She told me how she needs a break as well, and that I have a husband and I'm privileged, etc., and to put myself in her shoes. I told her to put herself in her son's shoes because she called me the asshole again. I don't think I am, but my husband feels bad and says we should have just taken Jesse. My mother came over earlier and I asked her what she thinks because she was a single mom as well and she's conflicted. She does feel bad for her though. Am I the bad guy? My husband's mostly on my side, but he feels bad. I do too, but he just feels worse about it. He helped me write the post since I'm not a Reddit user and he is. I'm just here to get some additional perspective on something I'm conflicted about. Didn't think it would hurt, lol. He didn't tell me off, and I've never posted on this sub before. You're not the bad guy because, listen, if you're going to have a child, you should be ready to raise that child. Like, you need to give them attention, like, especially if, like, in this case it prevented them from having a good time, like, then it's an issue. I don't know though. That's just my opinion. So, ladies and gentlemen, today was very fun. I enjoy talking about this all. I might do another stream like this soon. But it was very fun today. I like reading to you guys. If you want to check out all the people whose stories I read, I hope you all have a good day. Make sure to get a snack. Make sure to drink your water. And I will see you all later. Love you. Bye bye.